Hello friends and welcome to an exciting 5 versus 5 epic for you. This game going down just a few hours ago this afternoon. I'm recording it now. It will be with you as you're seeing this, hopefully within a couple of hours after me, saying this. Alright, we'll say no more. Fold things away. How exciting is that? You always know it's going to be a cracker of a game when you're presented with imagery like this in the center of the map. There you go, a bit of animation for YouTube. Alright, let's zoom out. Press the thing to fix the thing. Zoom back in so we can fix it. And unpause. Turn the music down just a tad. Always sounds loud in my headphones. Quick look at the map view then. It is a 15 by 15. I did measure it this time. And we have quite a lot of mass. Let's see what it is. 27,000 across the board. No major wrecks, but certainly a lot worth fighting for. 5-a-side, as we've said, average rating is 1591, in case you've already forgotten what was on the thumbnail. Team 1 in the upper west side today with a 12-point per player disadvantage. I'll spare you the whole rigmarole of it all. Team 2 down here, which has been kindly highlighted by our Brazilian friend there, DCC C97, means these guys are 62 points ahead. It is an epic, as we've said, so if you're new here to the channel, that means this is going to be a long game. And because it's on my channel, it means it's quite even until it's suddenly not. What's the point in casting a game where you know who's going to win 5 minutes before the start? That is, of course, unless you're one of these players, then in which case you already know. Alright, enough bullshit. Let's start introducing our friends then. We'll start with Team 2 for no other reason than it's, I don't know, backward. It's SealForce 1600. He's going UEF, has gone first land. Let's actually see if we can do it quick this time. Pink to his right is Erikaki at 1100. He's Cybran, also going first land. Continuing around in an anti-clockwise direction, because why the hell not? We are going backwards, that's for sure. This game, 18 years old. Like, what the? How is this 18 years old? Well, it is, and there's still nothing quite like it. One or two close imitations, but still nothing yet quite like it. Hopefully that is to change. By the way, what I said I was going to get on with the intro. I've ballsed it right up. What on earth is happening with... I've forgotten the game now. You know, the spiritual successor of FAF. I should know it because I supported them whenever it was. What's happened to it? It's like completely dropped off the radar. Every so often there's, oh, here's a new screenshot from somebody who's played our game, and it's like, what is that? Anyway, I shan't say no more. If anybody does know, I'd love to hear. Right, let's carry on. Back to the game at hand. It is our friend from Brazil, DCC C97, probably the best known player from Brazil, probably racked up more games than anybody else. And he's a 2K, which is nice to see, or 2.1 to be precise. Continuing around then is Major Body Odor. I'm sure we all know one of these in real life. Here he is. He's going Cybran. Probably stinks to high hell anyway, being Cybran. First land. And last but not least, for Team 2 is Chap. In blue, I think it's set on sky blue, should we say. He's 1800 Seraphim. Alright, I did say I was going to try do it quickly. Let's see if we can finish it off quick. On the north side, we've got leveling 1800 Cybran going land first. Moving around anti-clockwise, because why not? We started, we may as well not finish it. That way is Shodani 1500, also Seraphim. Looks like he went land air. Then we've got Sudiya at 1100. Where's he gone? He's Cybran. There he is in Bran. And last couple of players then, khaki green. We've got Dimitri 11, a 2100. Going there, khaki green, first land as well. And last, definitely not least in today's game, is Babel, the 1300. And somebody somewhere had to go on. This guy has gone and done it. With that, introductions are complete. Thank goodness for that. Owning stages of the game then, as you can see, there are a lot of mass points to be had. Lots of mass still available. Quick look at what the teams can see. This is Team 1's current field of view right now in white. Team 2 down there. That's what they can see. SealForce with the initiative, getting the transport out, spreading his engineers out far and wide. Nice and quickly there. This, by the way, we see the same thing here from Shodani. Some engineers. Major, massive point that separates the... what would we say? I would say separates the average player from the seasoned player. Say it like that. Transport out to get your engineers out early. It is, when I'm reviewing 1v1s, I realise it's been a while since I've cast one. I do intend to do so soon. That is by far what I see separates 1400s from the 16 to 1700s. That one thing alone, massive. Early raid here. Glad somebody's doing something from leveling. Couple of Mantis getting through. Picks off a mass point there belonging to Chap before Major Body Odor kills it with his stench. Wouldn't surprise me if Major Body Odor goes ahead and then nabs the mass point from those two himself. We'll have to see if he kindly gives it back to Chap or not. We got some engineers here from Erikaki right next to a bunch there belonging to leveling. 6 engineers, as long as he can afford to power that, which it seems that he can. Point defense down, anti-air down, going straight for the factory. Zero concern given there for the potential of a bomber inbound. Looks like he's going to get away with it. Extremely aggressive push here from Babel, way down the western flank, crossing out of his territory onto the side island that technically just about joins on in a contiguous landform with Team 2. It's like a lot of Babel, I beg your pardon, Babel's the one that shut it down. SealForce's early expansions have been shut down. Babel taking advantage of SealForce's lack of military units there. A very aggressive early expansion with engineers only. Was not able to defend in time. Has now got a single bomber in the area. This may help, but it's going to take time. Of course, Babel, not new, separating his units out so the bomber cannot damage more than one unit at once. That is huge at all stages of the game, but especially early on, where the units are of course worth far more than they are in late game when you've got lots of them. Major Body Odor with a little probe there, getting pushed back. I do love the little Cybran Sky Slammer for all their faults. The Cybran Sky Slammer that doubles up as a sort of a mech marine, really, doesn't it? Let's face it. Cool unit. SealForce, meanwhile, with 2 bombers. I do want to zoom in at some point somewhere, but it just seems so scatterbrained at the minute. There would be little point. Besides, you've already had that gorgeous view of that beautiful photography in the centre there. Topography, not photography. Get your words out right. Yeah, that would be a first, wouldn't it? Psych, SealForce finally shutting down the problem over here, having lost a lot. He was over here and pressing out this way with his engineers. Babel with a new wave of attacks coming down through. Chat with a wise point defense section there. I had no idea that scouts could outrange point defense. SealForce now lending his bombers that way, preventing further losses to his team. He's still bare, as is Babel. 8 minutes 22, it would be a fast upgrade, but not unheard of. Certainly on wide open maps like this where you have time. Cheeky little point defense build there once again from Major Body Odor. He does like his engineer drops with the surprise point defense in your face. And so far it's working out for him. He's also got a fair few units on the front line there. Meanwhile, we've got our first A reasonably large push here from Erik, the 1100, punching above his weight, taking out that point defense, rolling over it like it wasn't. Leveling, may want to think about diverting forces across or exploiting the opportunity to roll over this base. For now, he's just happy to secure his own flank. Potentially has attention elsewhere. Oh, this is nice here. Erik continuing to push west. Wide open space there belonging to Babel. Babel does manage to get a point defense down in time. Oh, there's no artillery in the mix there from Erik. That's going to shut it down. I did think there would look to be one or two. It's ever since they changed that Mantis icon to look more like a tank, I've never quite gotten used to it, even though the change was like years ago. Just one of them things. Kind of like the Americans getting up for the internet. I remember that. How slow the internet... I mean, it was slow anyway, but by goodness, once it got sort of past lunchtime and the Americans woke up. I was just thinking about it the other day. Hang on, Harry, do you remember we used to say how slow the internet was once America woke up? And I was like, I can't remember the last time I even thought that, because of course it doesn't make any difference now, but once upon a time it did. Another little push here from Erik. Nice little gap as well. He has himself the gun, the Cybran. And I see why leveling's being so protective. He's got capped off Tech 2 max point mechs under construction on the front line. And there's a commander with a gun. Nice work there from Erik. Glad someone somewhere is putting some pressure on. Of course, we had that early pressure from Babel there on the western flank. Looks like SealForce has mostly recovered that lost terrain together with his pal chap there. Little look on the eastern flank. We've neglected that thus far. Some hover tanks there from Shodani, the Tech 2, up against predominantly, if not entirely, Tech 1. There is a commander, Major Bodyguard, who does not yet have gun. Does he have overcharge? No, he does not. But it's enough to convince Shodani to turn away. There is the first T2 unit there. Mobile missile launcher. That will dissuade Shodani from hanging around still for too long. And indeed, one hit was all it took. And he's on the move. He is paying attention. Some come-on-come action, meanwhile, on the west side. SealForce still bare. Babel also still bare. SealForce with a couple of Riptides assisting. Blaze coming in now from Babel as well. So it's straight to Tech 2. Oh, that is kind of loud. And that went extremely well there for SealForce. Puts in one last overcharge, hits the terrain instead of following a commander into the water. Looks like Babel decides, I'm going to keep all my units alive, not get them stuck in at all. Looks like some pincer movement going on here. Erik, meanwhile, flying himself around. Looks like he was planning to go up front, then realizes, hang on. We're getting split in two here. And Babel is breaking through the mids. Minor defense here, and of course here. But then again, Erik's got units further north, so Babel has to be careful he doesn't push too far too deep. Get himself caught out. We've got more action over here as well. Sudi versus Chap. Chap's getting an upgrade, assisted by engineers. This is a powerful comm at this stage. He's got gun. It's nano, and now the damage amplifier, I believe, as well. So that is dangerous at 13 minutes. We've also got Shodani. He thinks Shodani, I don't know why. Either way, he's pressing down. He's got gun and tech too. Always a favourite upgrade of mine back in the day. Gives you options. Granted, not the best always for fighting. It's more of an all-rounder, but... Lovely little move here from SealForce. Just threading a few units up the side. Looks like Dimitri's come out to play. He is bare with his commander, but he's just offering a little assistance with the trickle through. Nice pick up there from Eric. Beautiful work. Babel moves some units west to deal with that incursion, but a day late, although not a dollar short. Nice little pick up there from Shodani as well, wiping out what was very smelly indeed. Two commanders there, one-on-one. It's actually great to see a whole bunch of one-on-ones rather than people secretly ganging up on one another. Makes for a more interesting game. Perhaps Chap temporarily not paying attention as the units out in front of the commander, not behind, allowing there some units to get picked off for free from Sudiya. Air players with ASF, and it looks like the last of those few units there from SealForce were picked off. It doesn't look like too much, if any, damage was caused in the rear. Oh, this is nice here. Some beautiful overcharges there from Shodani versus Major Bodyodder, who's really got to think about pulling these units back. You don't want to feed your commander or your enemy commander so much veterancy for free. Nice pick up there from Dimitri, using his few ASF to pick off isolated enemy air units. And why not? Every time it's a win. Few, if any, losses, it's a win. Leveling, coming a bit far forward there from Team 1. Walks straight into a few point defense as well as an upgraded commander. We've got some, a single siege tank there. He's going to want to overcharge that, and he's going to want to overcharge it again and fast. That may help him on his way to his second rank of vet. He's a... I best not say he's a hair away from the upgrade, let's say it like that in any case. But leveling at 1800, playing like the rank he is, keeps his mobile reserves available just behind the commander, allowing themselves to trade places should they need. Major Bodyodder here at 1300, you can see not doing so, leading the charge with his units instead. There is quite a few T3 units though, so you can't afford to mess around too much. And he's going to send them over to Chap to assist, who again is having similar exploits at the minute versus leveling, whose attention is clearly elsewhere. Going after Eric, a couple of bricks and a commander. Eric losing quite a lot of hit points there, almost half. They disappeared awfully quick, wisely backing off. SealForce, meanwhile, throwing a few units forward on the flank, forcing Babel there to bring some units back that were previously no doubt destined to thread through that gap following leveling as he punches a hole through the front line. Meanwhile, we've got far more aggression over here from Team 2. We've got these T3 units, and there is the problem. Sudiya overcharging clumps of T3 units, and right there, what was a really strong army belonging from Major Bodyodder fizzles out in a flash. Nice little navy over here as well from Eric. Appears to be the only player who's done so. So Shodani's thinking about it, hasn't yet produced anything. Nice. A brick there from Major. Sent into a relatively, I was going to say ill-defended, it's not, there's a whole bunch of T2. Providing he makes use of the brick's enhanced range, that could work, but it looks like he's just throwing it in. Making another run at the commander here, forcing Shodani into the water. I don't think Shodani had to go in, but he obviously felt better safe than sorry. T3 spy run coming down from Dimitri. Let's have a little look what they can see. We saw a plane shot down there. There goes another, but it's enough to get a read. Let's focus back in on the central area. Whoa, leveling. I leveled up just in time, leveling up to his name there. Goes from a 3 to a 4-star. Continuing to fire in. He does have nano as well, so those hit points are going to be coming on pretty quick. Eric got his 2-star as well. His health looking a lot better than last time we saw it. This whole area is just a little weak, though. Okay, SealForce is sending units back and forth, but there's not a lot here from Eric to back his commander up. And it looks like Leveling knows it, and he's making the push. That is a lot of T2 units suddenly surrounding the commander. Eric got no choice but to back off. There is a single Cybran turret here. A Tech 2 Seraphim point defense going on just in line. We've also got Tech 3. And I don't know what's happening to these units. Despite leveling being Cybran, these are Aeon units. Must have been gifted. That was an overcharge and a half. I don't know how many units just went up there. It was at least 5 or 6 T2 units. And what looked like a clean open run there for leveling, suddenly he is up creek without a paddle. His hit points are evaporating awfully quick. He's got 10, 9,000, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, no way, 3, 2. He's a 5-star with nano and gun and just got surrounded by a bunch of riptides. And like that, it was over. Our first friend is down. We best check in over here, because things looking kind of crazy all over the place. Huge white push there from Shodani into Blue's main base. Chap looks like he's going to roll over it. All the units are out of position. Oh no, what's Shodani doing? I reckon Shodani's gotten so excited with his army, he's forgotten what's all about his commander. A major body odor says, have a sniff of that, and that takes out 2 players inside as many minutes there for Team 1. Team 2 ahead 5-3 on players' scoreboard, looking much closer. What's that? 577 to 566, favouring Team 2. Chap was almost another player going out. At least that would have evened it somewhat. And these bricks here from Major Body Odor rolling up just in time. Chap in a major spot of bother here. He's sending forward siege tanks, sending them to their death. But I suppose while the enemy's shooting at the siege tanks, they're not shooting at anything else. Chap, look at that, 128 points a second. It's already a 5-star, so he's got nowhere to go. Beautiful overcharge there. Takes out a whole clump of T2 units. It looks like Chap is going to live for another minute or 2. Speaking of Chap, a bunch of siege tanks belonging to him. Currently out front committing war crimes versus the engineers there belonging to Babel. They have been rolled over like a hot knife through butter. And that is a nuke from Dimitri, a 22-minute nuke. That is not easy to defend against when you're busy out front trying to micro. And I reckon it's going in back. And Brazilian friend reckons it too. He pings all of his engineers out of dodge. What's his commander doing? Oh, his commander, he's on the run. Bang! My goodness, that commander had to only just be in the range there. It looked to me like he was just out, and I was surprised to see him go. I guess the Cybran Nuke got an upgrade at some point. I'm not entirely sure on that, but that is the air player taken care of, and the first player down from Team 1, the 2100 no less, the highest rated. Dimitri bringing it back to a 4 versus 3, still favouring Team 2. Brazil says, fight air, you win. Of course, Brazil, the player, just went down. Air's gone over to Chap. Let's have a little look. I assume he's thinking, well, if the other guy rushed Nuke, he must have less ASF. So we've got 105 versus 70. Well, yes, you'd win if you played your cards right. The problem is, Chat's micron up front, and he has got basically no air grid left. So you need to win, and you need to win. I see Brazil there, desperate for the fight. It's like, yeah, if you win now and you win, that will hold you. But because he's got an air grid and you don't, time be ticking for that fight to take place. You can see there's about 7 or 8 ASF rolling off the line every few seconds there from Dimitri. First experimental that we've seen, a chicken also from Dimitri. Interesting, of course, the air player taking on what looks like to be 2 bases belonging to his team. Everybody else still has theirs. Of course, not surprising being 2100. I do like the use of the Cybran destroyers here as long-range mobile artillery. Mini fat boys, really, when it comes to the land game. This is what interests me. 25 minutes on the nose, and Chap is looking into the face of a chicken and a whole bunch of bricks. That is a shed load. There is a Seraphim T3 shields. There are a few point defense, but that shield hit point is going to crumble awful quick. 21,000 hit points. There they go. By that mobile shield, just in time to eat a few shots. This was a beautiful move from Chap. Forces the chicken to delay the push. Gives Chap time to bail. That right there was, again, that's top level shit. To think of that in the moment. This really is the skill that separates the men from the boys. To borrow an old tired expression. But it is true. My goodness, that's on. I used a voice mod there, honest, that weren't me. Oh god, it sounded terrible, didn't it? Mercy, meanwhile, Mercy. I assume they were going after the... No, they're not. They're going after the land units. And that is the second nuke from Dimitri. Heading right into the middle of Body Odor's base. Body Odor wisely got out of the way. Probably realised, yeah, that one's got my name on it. My nuke defense isn't ready yet, and the 2100 knows it, and he's got a nuke, so it's probably coming my way. And indeed it did. Team 2 still ahead though. Look at that, 1.6 versus 1.3 in terms of live mass incomes. Overall mass totals very close, but Team 2 slightly pulling ahead now thanks to that disparity. That is a beautifully placed chicken there versus those bricks. A nice clump. That plasma ball's going to take out the lot. Kaboom. Suddenly the chicken is a 3-star, but it does have a bunch of bricks up its behind. Of course, mixing up teams there. The bricks are on its team. So Team 2 has a problem. Yes, they're pushing forward with a couple of destroyers. There's a few units there. Oh, but they're faced off by... I was going to say predominantly bouncers. No, it was half-half. So that's going to get wiped out belonging to Chap. Really, the only game in town is this one over here. Beautiful use of the mobile shields there. Such an essential unit in the UEF T2 stage. Seraphim players, I don't know, they seem less keen to use it. That's the Omni going up there for Team 2. But when they do use it, pay attention, people. 2100, he's got a shield over his experimental. That gives it an extra 10,000 hit points, continuously regenerating at 133 hit points per second. Chap suddenly with a couple of broadswords. 203 kills now on that chicken. We've got the bricks over here from Sudiya. Sweeping damage in on the extreme northeastern flanks from Team 2's base. Beautiful team play. Pointless clumping them together. Separate them off. Everybody was like, oh hell. The chicken's coming my way. I best run. There's a chicken over here from Chap. I'm sure it's going to be able to catch up, but that chicken is now a 5-star. 100,000 hit points. About half of them have gone missing thanks to a huge ball of broadswords. Quick look elsewhere. Do have a Monkey Lord as well from Team 1 ready to come down. We've got another push here from Dimitri. Bricks cleaning out some of the central areas there belonging to SealForce. And that right there is Dimitri mopping up what little air was left, as well as the broadswords that are now going to pursue the chicken. There's a few of them left. Chat-wise to produce some SAMs to just try and thin out some of those ASF, but the broadswords are gone. Yeah, the air grid has nowhere near to recovery. Yeah, there's nothing else you can do but build SAMs. This chicken, I mean, he did manage to get it down to 40,000. Credit to that. But with 100, what was it? Was it 100? 145 hit points a second. He just needs to park it there for like 30 seconds and then bring it back out and back to 50. There is some pressure up here thanks to SealForce. There had to be some sort of counter from Team 2. Otherwise it's going to be a little one-way. Look at this. Dimitri with a Monkey Lord in rear, just casually using its long-range plasma cannon. Such an underrated weapon is that. Throws in a few mercies as well for good measure. Percy's taking the brunt of that. Yeah. Things currently on the back foot for Team 2. We're going to have to stick with this chicken because this is going right into the back. Chap who hasn't really had chance to recover the air grid is about to lose it for the second time. Of course, it did belong to our Brazilian friend TC97, as I officially like to call him. Somehow managed to pull a broadsword out of there in the nick of time. He's trying to throw some Tech 1 bombers. There's a second broadsword, and look at the hit points. Tumbling away, and suddenly there's a couple more broadswords found, as well as some vital T2 gunships there from Eric. And it looks like with 310, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. There we go. That was an incredible chicken. More than paid for itself. And at 31 minutes, look at the damage it's done to T2's economy. They were ahead last time we checked by about 300 mass per tick. Now they're 200 mass per tick behind. Yes, that's 500. Yeah, I got to slow down sometimes. I do get carried away in the moments. Monkey Lord there from Dimitri that was previously covering the rear is now up front with his bricks, and this was a real nice forward operating base from SealForce with factories or support factories to boot, and now looks like it's getting shut down. Eric's going to want to move these naval units away if he's going to want to hold any of them. Looks like he has gave the order just a little bit too late, really. Just some isolated T2 units coming down. And somehow, Chap's been able to group together quite a few broadswords. Dimitri's decided to take his ASF home. Focus on the land war for a little bit. Does give another big scouting run. I do like to see what players can see. Decided not to make use of the Shift G on that occasion. I assume he thought, yeah, because they get shot down, then we don't see. Eric brings his gunships forward. Dimitri annihilates them. Wow, look at this. SealForce with just enough Percy's. Yes, they're heavily damaged, but I reckon... Oh, don't shoot through the hill. If they can take that brick out... There it goes. Somehow, SealForce is going to hold on to that. But this Monkey Lord is the problem. It's a 3-star now, 130 kills, and it is behind the front lines. I don't think there's enough there to stop it anyway, even if they could catch up. We've got pressure in the mid from Sudiya. Not looked there for a while. A wall of bricks facing down a... Well, the forward base there from Chap. And it looks like they're about to break through. There are Tech 3 capped off mechs here, so he's not going to want to lose it. I love the use of the mobile shield there. Causing a lot of the bricks to fire in and out through the shield. Of course, doesn't work either direction, which is great. And that has been enough to force Sudiya back. It was... That chicken there that we saw earlier on from chat. It's previously pursuing that one. Looks like it's got taken out. There's a megalith there from Sudiya. Chicken there from Dimitri. It weren't going to go much further than that. Sorry, I missed its death. It's an interesting decision here from Dimitri. Rather than pressing forward with that Monkey Lord, which is pretty much an open goal, he decides to bring it back and then presses forward again. I thought he was going to bring back and clear this base up once and for all. Decides not to. Always makes for a better Friday night and a weekend if you find a decent game to watch. From my point, equally so to cast. So many desyncs again of late. Probably affects 2 out of 3 decent longer games. It is that bad at the minute. Every so often it gets a load better again and then it gets a load worse again. It's a constant battle. I have to hand it to the FAF team. I know I say it from time to time. I just don't think they get enough credit, the people there that are constantly trying to battle with this DDoSing. Somehow keeping the lights on for the majority of the players for the majority of the time. Just has to affect one though in a long epic and boom, that's it, curtains. I do watch just in case that sometimes, you know, you get those, what I call like a fake desync message where everything's fine. But, you know, if after 5 minutes later you see players and their ASF are littered all over the ground and dying for no reason and they're like 2500 rated, you think, yeah, that's that one. Garbage. 3 chickens here from chat meanwhile at 35. Sudiya knows it's his crab there on the run. There's some beautiful shots. He realizes he ain't getting away. I might as well turn around and get what I can. Chap's leading. Chicken may well go down. Pointless stop and keep it moving. Sudiya there. Great move. Primaries the weaker chicken. Manages to take it out. Backs off. The chickens do then take out the megalith. Nice work. Fat Boy over here from SealForce. They're working on these bricks from Dimitri, who continues to put pressure on SealForce. SealForce did manage to re-establish just T1 factories, probably using those for engineer and reclaim. Quick look at the reclaim status. Well, thing almost crashed. Well, there's a hell of a lot more than there was early on. Let's see what the numbers dictate. 292,000 on the field at this moment in time. Is that ground? No, his head must be... I don't know. I don't know if you ground fire Fat Boy, you can't fire anywhere else. Clearly saw the split fire there. There's a bunch of Percy's here as well from the SealForce. I reckon with the skin of his teeth, he's going to hold on to that. What on earth is going on here? I guess Major Body Odor thought, you know, I'm sick of having no base and being nuked and all the rest of it. I'm going to go for a walk. Do you know he could actually commit a little bit of damage if he hung around some of these mechs? Certainly if his team gave him a energy storage or two. Nuke out meanwhile from Team 2. I believe it's a... Oh no! That is a super nuke! A super nuke getting nuked by a regular nuke. Oh my goodness. Oh. How is that? I don't know if I missed something. That was not... I must have missed something. I think they're just talking shite. This once again, 3 chickens stacked on top of each other. They melt that megalith like it's nothing. Chicken's almost still full health. We've got Chap here upgraded all the way up the arms. Oh my goodness, those chickens. When they combine their plasma weapons, it's a sight of beauty, but there are 3 chickens coming the other way from Dimitri. That mega nuke was so close to firing as well on it, let's face it. Oh, they finally decided to take Major Body Odor out. He's still going for a walk. Don't mind me, just a gentle little walk. Meanwhile, right next to him, in goes the nuke. That was a shed load of support factories there belonging to Dimitri as well. Body Odor taken out. And with it, on the 39th minute, it's a 3 versus 3. Overall scores, 3 million apiece. Slight advantage to Team 2. I suspect on the back of that nuke that just went in. Wow. There looks to have been a 4th chicken there from Chap at some point. We see the 3rd chicken going down from Dimitri. Excuse me. It wasn't very professional, was it? Do you remember back in the day on YouTube, it was like, wait a minute, right, yeah, let me just open this tab. Oh, where was it? I had it here a minute ago. Yeah, that was a proper, like, how videos were. And people were just, like, amazed by it. Wow, and now it's, if you can't be slick and you've got all the lighting and the... Holy moly, get back with the game. Yeah, we remember them days. Eric, the 1100, Telemaze is in there. What's this? Static artillery, 4 of them firing upon Eric. Dimitri spamming out Mercies. Those guided missiles. Look at the hit points. I'll tell you what, Mercy's got completely nerfed. I actually think they've made him a little stronger. Eric, of course, already halfway through his teleport. Pointless cancelling because he was dead if he stayed still. He's dead anyway, so he may as well continue the teleport and get what he can. And with it, as quick as that, it's a 2v2. Major air fight over here. Meanwhile, I suspect Dimitri still has numbers. Chap hanging on. He's got plenty. Oh, that was a mistake there from Dimitri. Chap with a few ASF, given the opportunity to wipe out some of those broadswords. And for reasons not entirely clear to me, Dimitri backs off instead of wiping out those ASF. He's got numbers, but what else has he got? That is a Scathis, the droplets of doom there, firing across the screen. I say they're firing off the screen. No, they're not. They're firing into the front line here from SealForce. No, they're not. They're slightly further behind. Where are they going? They're firing into SealForce's, certainly his front base of operations. For a minute, it looked like they were hurtling straight into all those Percies, most of them on full health. I would like to see SealForce push. I think he's got the advantage here. And the Scathis has been redirected on that front line. Fat Boy there, shield gone down by half after the first volley. Fat Boy there from Chap, as well as the 4 chickens. That's going to allow him to put pressure on the front line there from Team 1, and they're going to have to decide, do we fall back or do we press in? But this is really unusual. It is not very often that you see a Scathis defend. I see it occasionally on set-ons to deal with a huge clump of Navy, but not really against land units until now. Look how many Percies have been taken out. That really is something. Let's have a little look. How many kills we got? 109. Another volley going in. Military targets only. And what did we have after that? 116. So that's 7 high-value T3 units down. But I tell you, SealForce had the upper numbers. I reckon Dimitri knows it, and that's why he's fired on the front line. Look at those units evaporate. I don't know how many Percies were stacked there, but there's about 3 left. That was Well, nice to see. Always new things. Meanwhile, it looks like we've got some T3 static artillery firing across the map as well. They're deciding to go after the nuke launcher, and Chap is going to lose it if he's not careful. SealForce paying attention, puts a Continental above, slightly off position, and the nuke is lost. Great pickup there. I suspect it came from Dimitri's way also. Dimitri's still got the Scathis firing at SealForce here. At least that's been 2 or 3 minutes now of Scathis fire not unloading on Team 2's main base. That will give them a little bit of time to cover up should they wish. SealForce somehow holding on to these fat boys, no doubt pumping out units using their onboard factory, although there goes the first fat boy. And it looks like Sudiya is deciding to make a push south. The fat boy that's Chap is dead. 4 megalith. That's not going to be easy to stop. And Sudiya is bringing them into formation before he moves them anywhere. Nice here from Dimitri. He's got units on every flank. And SealForce is inside what you would call a kill sack. He's completely surrounded. Fat Boy's heavily damaged. The shields are gone. He's got artillery coming in. Bricks surrounding him. He's going to be lucky to hold on to those 2 Fat Boys. Very well played there from Dimitri. Not much SealForce could do. I mean, he was in such a great position until that Scathis opened up. Five chickens, then there were 4. Fantastic movement there, look at this. Sudiya, the 1100 micro-wing, 4 megalith into reverse, then he ballses it up, but 4 of them, he got them walking backwards while facing forwards. Still players who can't do that with 1, he did it with 4. Is an 1100, what's your excuse? I don't know what mine is. Well, I do. I haven't played in a couple of days. Just 2 or 3. New support there from a new megalith joining the fight, and the chickens are down. And that is Plasma Ball Central as a result. Let's have a little look where... There we go. There you go. That should be the screenshot for the game. Sometimes I don't know. I sometimes like to think if I make a screenshot that looks like FAF, but it's sort of more modern in some way, will it bring in new people? And then you realise probably not, because they click on, oh, what's this, and they go, oh, it's that 18-year-old game, right? I'm off. Scathis fire now from Dimitri, reaching the back of the first base. Looks like that's the first. Lots of round going in. Lots of damage. SealForce still present right where he was. Granted, he's not got units here anymore, but nor is he let up. But now the Scathis fire has repositioned. We've got 3 sats here. The shield network has gone down. There's 1 shield there, another under construction, I assume. Yeah, we've got 2 more here from chat. We've got the 3 shields going to work versus that Scathis. 300 kills so far on the Scathis. They bag 1 of the shields, but there's more shields still surrounding the Scathis. Oh, goodness me. And with T3 engineers able to build shields that quick, I'm not sure they're going to be able to get through. Let's have a look what happens to these drops. The shield is down. We've got 2 sats on like 5% health, if that. And they're now cooked. 1 sat there remaining. I'm not sure that's going to be enough to break through Dimitri's party. T4 bomber under construction here from chat. We'll have to see what happens with that. Megalith there cracking through that T3 shield. Bunch of broadswords, though, from Chap just in time. Always a good sight to see a ball of broadswords when shit is going south. They'll chew through that hit points fairly quickly. Dimitri seems to have gone into second gear on the air. I assume he's been focusing entirely on the land war as well as the Scathis. Sudiya trying to thread experimentals through with 0 air support. That's got to be somewhat frustrating. It does have a single banter in tow, but that's not going to work. And here is the experimental bomber. It's moving in. Bomb straight into the one remaining megalith. Oh no, the broadswords move into its delayed explosion zone. About half the broadswords there belonging to Chap going up. Nevertheless, the experimental bomber's done its job. The broadswords finish off the last of the megalith. Does Dimitri even have any... I assume he's got air. I'm not seeing any ASF from Dimitri. He's got a few spy planes. Is he deciding to play this without using air? Experimental bomber on the way here from Chap, moving up the western flank. There are quite a few SAMs there. Bomber still on good health though, 47,000 hit points. It's going towards Dimitri's base. It drops a bomb. It makes a turn. Now, I don't know how many SAMs are there, but the answer is more than enough. The bomb goes off. It doesn't even crack the shield. That is what you call a complete failure when it comes to the experimental bomb. I'm not sure if that was a lack of scouting or if Chap genuinely thought if he turned away, he could save it. Dimitri actually calling him an idiot. Dimitri laughs off. The experimental bomber calls his opponent an idiot. My goodness. Some brazen there. By the way, love this from Sudiya. Look at this. If they're busy up front, I'll thread in a few bricks down back and just don't mind me. Don't say anything. Wow. Tell you what though. SealForce has made up for that mistake, the bomber, and he is pushed well forwards. Dimitri here with a few shields. He's got A on point defense going under construction like no tomorrow. There is a Monkey Lord threading in. We also have a couple of sats here from Chap. Looks like he's deciding to go after some of the economic options. And this is huge. SealForce with a fat boy able to unload on that line. Keep those purses moving. That's the worst place you can put them, just outside of firing range of their own. Just inside the firing range of the Aeon point defense. Without a million other things taking place. SealForce there, no doubt getting the commander under the attack notification. So he will be aware that those bricks were there if he previously was not. It's like a little bit of banter going on in the chat there. In case you wanted to read it. Lol, idiots, play dual gap to learn how to use the Oasa. Dimitri chimes in with an agreement. You're not even in the game. You gave base to Dimitri to win. Okay, it's getting a little bit handbags at dawn-ish. That signifies it's time for us to focus back in on the game. Look at this. SealForce just roaming around with these broadswords. ASF there from Chap. Let's keep an eye on the economies. Team 1 currently way out ahead. 1.6 versus 900. So that's the 700 mass per tick advantage to our friends up north. But these broadswords are just roaming around, putting a stop to T3 mechs like no tomorrow. The Monkey Lord has made its way south, and this fat boy that was so perfectly placed, 153 kills, a 5-star no less, 87,000 mass killed, is suddenly at risk of going up. The Monkey Lord takes aim, and the fat boy, together with just enough purses, able to shut it down in time. The shield was already down. Fat boy do not last long under such circumstances. SealForce having a go with broadswords here as well. Ping going down there. No doubt someone from Team 2 saying, hey, you're losing a hell of a lot of broadswords for this. Look at the amount of SAMs you've got. We've got a second Scathis under construction there from Sudiya. The broadswords remain. Probably be helpful if and he does give them off. Read my mind. Gonna say SealForce has got enough on his mind trying to deal with the attack. It's like the players are sharing sort of responsibility for defense. And Chap having the time of his life roaming around with these broadswords. I mean, look at the mass scores now. Team 2 still slightly behind. There was a little bit of reclaim there. But these broadswords, what they really need to do is shut down the production facilities where possible. Look at all those engineers. I'm surprised any of them lived with the broadswords there. I think there was a lot of overkill on one or two of the units. Scath is still unloading. I realise I don't focus very much on the Scathis fire. We all know what it does. We'd see nothing else. There's your answer. Chip's base is a former base. 699 kills for the Scathis. 616,000 mass. No small figure, but there is a ball of broadswords here. And Dimitri had, well, he does now have a few ASF. Let's count them up. How many ASF? 7. Oh, 7 ASF. Seem to have a ball of broadswords, and somehow things not going well. Can Chat bring it back? It's the question. Just 4.5 minutes until we are officially at the mark of epicosity. If you are enjoyed a game, still feel free to like the video. Or don't. Broadswords tickling the megalith to death there finally. Team 2 holding. There's a lot of spam here from SealForce. I like the move. The spam is certainly going to soak up some of the high damage, high alpha units that do not have a high rate of fire, although the Monkey Lord is perhaps not the best unit to throw spam at. I'll tell you what though, go on, keep threading it that way. Tech 1 mobile artillery versus Tech 2 static artillery wins. Any day of the week, and twice on a Friday night. Looks like Dimitri redirects the Scathis fire towards SealForce's base, who's been spared the brunt, I think it's fair to say, of the Scathis once the initial sats were dealt with. We've also got ourselves a bug here from Chap, just waiting for orders to be issued. And what is this? Dimitri telemasers down into the south of SealForce's base, right next to a couple of T3 support factories. He overcharges one of the Percys, masers the second. He's already a 4-star. Looks like he can't decide which factory to go for next. And there's his 5-star. I'm just wondering, are Team 2 even aware that he's here? Well, they are now. SealForce scrambles his Continentals over top of Dimitri. Look at the hit points on Dimitri tumble away. He had 15,000 a moment ago. Continentals together with a few broadswords, and that is it. Dimitri is out inside the 1 hour mark, and suddenly it's Sudiya, the 1100 Embran versus the world, but it looks like he was just in time there to get the Scathis handed off to him. 21 kills as we saw it. The other Scathis there, of course, the kills get reset, the veterancy does not. So I'll be interested to see how many kills Sudiya is able to rack up with those before he is, well, he may not die. It doesn't look good. I mean, he was pressing way down here. Suddenly his units are all the way back. There's a hell of a lot of engineers back there. SealForce still looking very strong up front. And if we take a look at the totals, 5.7 versus 5.6 million. This one is turning out to be a nail-biter. Currently favouring Team 1, but Dimitri is down. A sat over that Scathis. I reckon SealForce, beg your pardon, fancies his luck. Maybe thinking the 1100 can't quite juggle the shields so well. Brick getting round the back there before it's annihilated by a lot of mobile artillery. Chap decides to pick up his broadswords and get them into use again. I mean, there's so much here. Just do a lazy attack move like that. That's what I would do. Realizing that focus is elsewhere, and the Scathis has annihilated what was SealForce's base. And don't forget there are 2 of them. Bunch of torpedo bombers there belonging to chap. Okay. There's a naval yard. It is on standby. The broadswords are back in action. The fat boy further back stood there. What happened to that bug? Has that been deployed? I assume it must have. Continental's moving up from SealForce. I suspect he's using them as sort of mobile airborne shields. Here is the bug. 21 kills. And here comes the ball of broadswords as well as the Soul Ripper. This Soul Ripper is not doing very well. It's not even got a 1 star. It's down to less than quarter health. Does then decide to join in and help destroy the Scathis. Still not enough to get a rank of vet though. Oh, I love this. Cheeky little torpedo launcher build there, hoping that the 1100 is overwhelmed with proceedings. That's really cheeky, but vital. Look at the bases. Both of the teams well below 1000 mass. Little scouting run coming out there from chap. Let's see what his team can see. Well, plenty of notifications from his team. I'm wondering what was behind Dimitri's decision to tell him Mazer. I mean, I'm guessing he knew it was probably going to be a one-way ticket. He certainly made no attempt to escape once he was under fire. I don't know if he thought it was in the bag or not, but I tell you what, with that many Scathis, I tell you what, Sudiya is not letting up. Look at this. Despite holding multiple fronts, he's got engineers, he's got spam of his own going out this way. There is a fat boy over there, which exceptionally good at dealing with spam. Sudiya's redirected his Scathis fire towards what is arguably now SealForce's main base. Chap has done somewhat reasonable expansion there towards his previously damaged. I mean, the only way you can deal with a Scathis is to completely decentralize. You cannot build a main base, especially when there's 2 of them firing at you and you're not starting with shields that you can already assist. Monkey Lords pouring out here from Sudiya. Some broadswords there from SealForce, just dealing with the odd unit that's trying to run through. No way, he says. That fat boy was full out. Did those engineers try to reclaim and they got like half the hit points off the fatty? Because I can't see anything else there that could have damaged that fatty. I'm imagining that was the lol no way. Broadswords continuing to have their way. But there's so many experiments. How is Sudiya affording so many experimentals on 800 mass? Like, they're just pouring out one after the other. Team 2, despite a large air force, how many broadswords he actually got? 39 on full time countering these experimentals. Fat boy there, about to get its 200th kill. I mean, this here is just beautiful for overtaxed players. SupCom head kicking in now. well after the mark of epicosity. Those broadswords could do worse than just try and mop all of this up. I realise the real problem is still back here, but it's so heavily defended. Let's have a little look. 33 SAM sites, 1 flame, 120. Come on, you've got 150 SAMs covering a Scathis. You ain't gonna get in with broadswords. I was watching a game the other day while I was looking for something to cast, and people were building strats. I can't remember if it was Seraphim or Aeon now. It doesn't matter. I saw it whizzing around the map as I watched these things at max speed, and it was not dropping bombs. And then up in chat comes, the bomber won't drop, and someone else was like, giz it here, giz the bomber here, I'll fucking do it. And so he hands over the bombers. This other guy, same thing. Bombers whizzing around the map, not dropping. I'm holding down shift to make sure. And it's like, yeah, he's got the attack move in, and it's like, what the fuck, you know. This is a game-breaking bug, which it obviously is. I can't remember what happens to that replay. If it desynced or fizzled out, or who knows. It became a steamroll. Look at this from Sudiya, just isolated pockets of units here, there and everywhere, and it's having devastating effect when combined with the Scathis that is allowed to focus on concentrations of units. Finally, chat, moving these broadswords up, they've got no fuel. Like, there's no fuel. I think what we're going to do at this stage, guys, is speed up slightly because there are such large gaps between the enemies. Let's go to +1. Alright, that's enough of that cinematic bullshit. Look at all these support commanders. I hope it tickled somebody's. Wow, yeah, that was okay, was that. Once in a while we'll put up with it. If he does it twice, I'm unsubbing. Oh, these fatties were so well positioned, and Sudiya threads in a monkey. I can't swear too much, but you know, he threads in a monkey. It was beautiful, beautiful. Perfect reaction there from SealForce. Realizes what time it was, but there are now 3 more monkeys. There's a 4th. So there are experimentals everywhere. 1 hour 7 minutes. SealForce suddenly finds himself staring down the barrel of a monkey lord. He's got a Billy Nuke on board. He fires the Billy. The Billy does damage the monkey lord somewhat, but it's not going to be enough, and that is that. We are down to a 1v1. 1 hour 7 minutes 55 seconds, and 1800s with an air force but no base, and 1100 with a base but no air force. Who will win? Well, I think the secret is out, and it had something to do with this insane SAM site coverage. I mean, I think Dimitri decided to troll a little bit. Do you know what? Let's fuck building planes. Let's just throw up a few SAMs and have a bit of fun. Oh, and by the way, I'm out. See you later. I'll let the 1100 clear it up. Let me know if you agree with that sentiment or not. I think that's actually a pretty cool thing to do. Let the 1100 have a taste. I mean, this Sudiya, is he really 1100? I don't know, man. He's if he's an 1100, they are a lot better than an 1100 used to be in my day. Granted, okay, 2 Scaffists, that's always going to help, although is there still 2? Looks like at some point one of them was taken out. My bad for missing that. He's gotten as deep as it goes. I mean, look how painful it is with these broadswords. They've got no fuel. Chat decides, oh, I know what, this idle Navy factory up here, why not? It's a fat boy there. 275 kills. Let's speed up time even more. 1 hour, 10 minutes. Scaffist fight. Is he aiming at the pond, hoping he might be there? Let's have a look. 52,000 hit points. Nah, he was aiming at the base. There is no more. Well, chap, I realise time not be on your side. Oh, he does have that Soul Ripper. He's got a full health Soul Ripper here as well. Maybe if he combines the two, sends the torpedo bombers in to try and distract the SAMs and can hook this up in sync, maybe. It's a lot of things to juggle. You've got lots of speeds, and these guys are crawling. Oh no! A full health Soul Ripper suddenly on half health. He got kill either. Oh, well, at least it's a 2-star. These broadswords having a pop at these spy planes flying past. Can't. You know, the broadswords anti-air is like ridiculous. Unless it's an experimental that they're dealing with. Speaking of which, the Soul Ripper is moving in. A lot of distributed bouncers. Where's it even going? The pilot doesn't know. He's clearly got SupCom head and all. How many experimentals has this guy got? 22 monkey lords crawling across the map. We've got spy planes for days all over the shop. Yeah. Come on. Hands up. Is this guy in 1100? I realise he was given a cracking base to start with, but this... The distributed attack, the complete spy awareness... Does he actually know that the commander is there? I mean... Well, there's your answer. Yes, he does. And marker has gone down. So chap has got a couple of mech storage and a couple of out of, well, more than a couple. A whole bunch of out of fuel aircraft. 39, still 39 broadswords. They were 39 about half hour ago. He comes out of the water to try and take on a couple of bricks. Doesn't like what he sees, no doubt. Zero energy, zero mass. It's not every day I see that, but I see it now, so no chance of an overcharge. And he's just going to go for a walk. Oh, the broadswords are moving in. The broadswords are moving in. Well, let's slow time down. We've got to see what happens here. We did have 39. We've now got 33.
Commander under attack.
The commander's under attack. Well, the only hope he's got is if these broadswords can find the enemy commander before he dies. Let's actually see where is Sud. Well, he's deep on back at shield behind all them SAMs, and who can blame him? Tell you what, these broadswords are suddenly moving quite quick. Where I've put it down to -3. They are out of fuel. And they're getting shredded like no tomorrow. All like so many SAM sites. You've got all of those mobile bouncers on the way as well. Goodness me. This is where your heart just dies for chap. Like his last card that he had to play. All of these support commanders knocking up SAMs. In they come. Where is the commander? There he is. He's here. Oh no, the health is so low. There were 39, then there were none, and at 1 hour 16, I think that is GG. Chap is here. He's got every upgrade you could possibly want on the Seraphim Com. but it just ain't gonna matter. Let's fall away the scoreboard. Take one look now. Let's try and get a cinematic finish. Ah, that's it. I'm fucking unsubbing. Yeah. Chap, not going to throw in the towel. He's going to give it all he's got until the very end. His chassis is glowing up. He's got plasma cannons focused down on him from at least 2 Monkey Lords. And there he is. His soul leaving the game through the Quantum Gateway for another battle on another day. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Supreme Commanders, friends, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I hope you are doing well. From me, deep inside the UK, on a Friday night, take care, good night. See ya.